I think back to this Kobe Bryant interview that we shared in our masterclass, but I'll go back over it now. The interviewer asks Kobe, some players hate to lose, some players love to win. Which one are you? And Kobe has this beautiful response. He goes, neither. I play to learn. I play to figure things out. And later on in that same interview, she was asking him a similar question about failure and how do you approach failure? And Kobe goes, there's no such thing as failure. It doesn't exist. Like I fail again on Monday, I try again on Tuesday. I fail again on Tuesday, I try again on Wednesday. The only failure is stopping and quitting. Okay. I go back to this. One of my favorite sayings comes from martial arts, and it goes, a black belt is just a white belt who didn't quit. The white belt guarantees gets beat up constantly for like the first year of their martial arts career. And if they keep on going, guaranteed they're going to show up at, the facility or studio or the dojo, and they are going to face failure after failure after failure. They get choked out, they get hit, they get beat up. Long term, they keep showing up. And each of those times that things don't go according to plan, they learn bit by bit by bit by bit. So the failure is critical to the long-term success. There's actually, piggybacking on that martial arts quote, there's a quote by Conor McGregor that goes, defeat is the secret ingredient to success. I want to give you a couple examples to drive this point home. One of my favorites comes from Kobe, of course. Back in his days of playing AAU basketball in high school, he had this saying, he played to learn, right? We've spoken about that already in this talk. Well, Kobe took that to an extreme in high school. He said, largely he was playing year round. And so, the high school season would turn into the AAU season, which turned into the high school season. And so there was no time to specifically work on anything unless he did it in the context of his team. And so he would go into these AAU games in the summer and start test driving moves that he was working on that he hadn't perfected yet. And there was this one game where he's in an AAU matchup trying to learn how to do this crossover. He ends up like dribbling the ball off his foot or turning it over or getting it stolen 8 times in a row. Suddenly the other team is up by a whole bunch. Kobe's team was just winning. His coach is yelling at him from the sidelines like, man, can you get it together and just like stop trying to learn this crossover so that we can win? That's not what I'm suggesting you do. Of course, that's like objectively a selfish way to play. And I don't think that you'll get very far doing that. But Kobe treated like those AAU games as his chance to fail over and over and over and over again so that he could learn how to do the thing that he was failing at and long-term succeed. That's like, once again, I'm not saying do that. I'm just giving you an example of how this plays out. He was so fearless that he's like, I don't care how many mistakes I make. I just want to get better. This requires for many players a sort of identity level shift here. And the shift that I want you to make is one of prey to predator. All right. So look at it in this way. The prey out in the wild is the one that's trying to survive. It's the player that is out on the court trying not to make any mistakes, trying not to get embarrassed, trying not to have the coach yell at them and pull them out. They're just trying to survive out there. Does this player make it in the long term? Well, what if you became the predator, or rather, let's call it a hunter? What if you became the hunter that was out there not to just like survive and not make any mistakes and not make anybody upset, but to actively assert yourself on the game? Expose yourself, yes, to mistakes and errors, and that's part of the game, but to hunt down the toughest challenges, the biggest opportunities. Would you be a better player in the long term for doing that? And one step further, would you ever become as great a player as you could possibly be if you didn't do that? That's a big question, because once again, this path is not for the faint of heart. I can't say that strongly enough. If you're not willing to go through failure, I just don't see how you can make it. Honestly, like that's the that's the bottom line truth here. And In that way, the price of greatness is failure. So my advice to you is get busy paying that price. Pay that price as often and as quickly as you can. Hunt down the toughest matchups, the biggest opportunities, and those moments where, yes, you may fail, but you will go down swinging and you will learn in the process. Hey, it's Taylor. I hope you enjoyed this clip. And if you'd like to watch the full-length talk, we'll have the title and/or link for you in the description so that you can check it out there. And as always, if you'd like to go even deeper, the best place to do that is in our free masterclass over at deepgame.com, which I believe will be the most powerful hour of basketball learning of your life. I hope we see you there.